our borrowings will be amounting to 2.5 and change trillion. Am I right?
That is correct, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Chair, no, siguro, please enlighten us, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, bakit may sobra tayong almost 1 trillion? Para lang malaman natin mga kababayan.
Congressman Stella Kimbo, tumayo ang balahibo matapos walang maisagot sa tanong ni Philrica Representative Presley De Jesus patungkol sa kung saan napunta ang 1.6 trillion na budget ngayong taon. Pero bago ang lahat, maaari kayong mag-subscribe para maging updated sa mga issue at bagong mga balita. Tila nga napakabilis ng karma matapos gipitin ni Kimbo at ng iba pang kasamahan sa Kongreso ang budget ng OVP ay eto siya ngayon. Halos magmalimos nga ng tulong sa mga kasamahan itong si Congressman Kimbo matapos siyang banatan ni Philrica Representative Presley De Jesus patungkol sa kung saan ba napunta ang 1.6 trillion na budget ng gobyerno ngayong taon. Mamahaling gamit at marangyang buhay ni Kimbo na kwestiyon. Narito ang buong detalye.
Honor.
Siguro gusto ko lang linawin para yung mga nakikinig sa ating mga kababayan natin, no? You mentioned a while ago during the interpellation of Kong Bordado, our budget for next year 2025 is 6-point-something trillion. Am I right?
That is correct, Mr. Speaker. 6.352 trillion pesos, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
And the projected income for 2025 is 4-point-something trillion. Is that correct?
Mr. Speaker, total projected revenues is 4.644 trillion pesos.
So we have a deficit of 1.6 trillion, something change, right?
1.537,
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker.
Gusto ko lang malaman, Mr. Chair, no? Mr. Speaker, sa ating magaling na Madam Sponsor, I heard, if I'm correct, no, you mentioned na our borrowings will be amounting to 2.5 and change trillion. Am I right?
That is correct, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Chair, no, siguro, please enlighten us, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, bakit may sobra tayong almost 1 trillion? Para lang malaman natin mga kababayan. Ano yung difference na yun?
So mas malaki po ang expected natin na spending kumpara sa ating kikitain. Yun ang tanong natin. So, ang tawag po natin dyan, pump priming. Yan po ay isang Keynesian principle. Matapos po ang Great Depression sa Amerika, matapos po ang World War II, nung sinabi ni John Maynard Keynes, para palaguin natin, para makabangon ang ekonomiya, ay kailangan gumastos ang gobyerno dahil merong tinatawag na multiplier effect. So, ganito rin ang konsepto, kailangan gumastos ang gobyerno sa mga programa na merong multiplier effect. Ibig sabihin, sa pisong ginagastos ng gobyerno, dapat mas higit pa sa piso ang nagiging suma total in terms of output. At dahil dyan, in the end, ay lalago tayo. So, yun ang konsepto ng pump priming. So, kumbaga, pinopromote natin ang growth when government spends. So, yun po. And especially dahil nanggaling tayo sa pandemic, pinopromote natin ang economic recovery by spending.
That will lead to my second question, Mr. Speaker, no, to Madam Sponsor. So, can you confirm that more than 13% of the proposed budget is to service our debt burden? This makes debt interest payments the second biggest contributor to the budget growth. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
And do you know how much that will go to our debt payment or debt servicing?
About 800 or 800 848 billion pesos, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
In my record says 876.7 billion. Parang mababa yung ano nyo. Mas gusto ko yung sa inyo, mas mababa ang ano nyo.
To be exact, 8 So kasama po ang net lending dun sa 876, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
So how much is it, Mr. Speaker? Madam Sponsor?
848 ang interest payments po
So
for national government,
for year,
2025.
so 848 billion.
Yes.
So how
Mr.
many
Speaker, Your
percent
Honor.
is that? 13% of our total budget for next year? How many percentage yung debt servicing natin?
11%, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
So 11%. So Mr. Speaker, so in short, 11% ng budget natin goes to debt servicing. Including ba yung principal doon or just the interest?
Just interest, Mr. Speaker.
So whenever pay yung principal natin, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor?
Yes, we do pay for, we amortize our principal. But for, hindi po natin nakikita sa appropriations because magdo-double count po kung isasama natin.
Okay, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Chair, the allocation for interest payment on debt increased by over 140-something billion from 670 billion 2024. So, mayroon tayong difference na 100 billion. Is that correct? Correct? Tama ba yun?
That is, wait. Ang increase po from 2024 is from 670.4 to 848.
So, a difference of 177 billion, something like that.
Yes, that is correct, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, can you simply say that the COVID-19 affected our budget or our debt servicing na malaki? May different, malaki bang naging sanhi ng COVID-19 natin?
Absolutely, Mr. Speaker.
Can you give us yung detail? Kasi para malaman, kasi sa totoo lang, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, yung mga tao nagtataka, no? At least this is the time na explain natin sa kanila na every year tumataas ang ating utang, no? At akala nila saan napupunta ang ating pera. So ito bang COVID-19, kumpara mo year by year, ilang percentage ang tinaas because of the COVID-19 pandemic?
So kung titignan po natin ang gross borrowings by administration, nung panahon po ni President Aquino, ang kanyang debt to GDP ratio, nung siya po ay nagtapos, ay 41% lamang. 4.4 ay Mr. Speaker, let me... Okay, beginning President Aquino, ang gross borrowings, 4.4 billion. Ang kanyang accumulated borrowing was 1.365. So, maliit lang po. 29.8% increase lang po. Pero nung panahon po ni President Duterte, panahon nga ng pandemya, ang accumulated debt is 7.47 trillion. Trillion, no? Trillion pala po, sorry ha. 7.47 trillion, which is a 125.6% increase. Pagdating po ng ating present administration, ang debt accumulation so far is 2.27 trillion pesos or a 16.9% increase. So yun po ang pagkakaiba po across administrations. At uulitin ko po yung kay President Aquino, 1.365 trillion pesos. So yun ang difference po. Ulitin ko po, kay President Aquino, 1.365 trillion. Ang kay President Duterte, 7.47 trillion. Ang kay President Marcos, 2.2 trillion pesos.
So because of the pandemic, Mr. Speaker, hindi lang dumoble, I think 6 times pa ata. Parang ganun lumalabas because of the pandemic. Now, by the end of the 2025, ano bang projected outstanding national government debt natin? Magkano ang magiging utang natin by the end of 2025?
By the end of so sa ngayon po, ang ating debt stock, okay, by the end of 2025, ang ine-expect po natin na outstanding debt is 7.351 trillion pesos. By the end of, with a debt to GDP ratio of 60.4%. Yan ang expected natin po.
So, tumaas na naman. So, you mentioned a while ago when I was listening, the debt to GDP ratio natin right now is 60.9%. Am I right?
60.9. Yes, that is correct.
And then you also mentioned the target before the end of 2028. Ang target nyo is 56.3%. Is that correct?
This is a lower target. Okay, it's a range pala. Ang, 56.3, that is correct po.
Tama, di ba? Yan ang sinabi
Yes.
nyo kanina.
Yes po.
Now, at the end of 2028, so we're talking about 25 up to 2028. So with the difference of, kukumpara mo yung GDP na inanyo nyo, target nyo, so pwedeng tumaas to, pwede rin bumaba. Kasi target lang nilagay nyo na 56.3.
That is correct.
There's only 4 point something. So you're talking about the debt to GDP ratio from 2025 to 2028, 4 point something lang ang ina-expect yung tataas for almost 4 years tayo. Is that safely to say? Tama ba yon?
Bababa po ang debt to GDP.
Yeah, ng 4%
About 4
lang.
points.
Isn't it masyado siyang maliit?
Well, kasi tatandaan po natin na ine-expect din po natin na tumaas din ang ating utang. Kasi taon-taon, ine-expect natin na magde-deficit naman po tayo. Every year, ine-expect po natin na deficit spending tayo. So, ibig sabihin, taon-taon, umuutang po tayo. Ganun naman po. So, halimbawa, 2025, we expect 17.3. By end of 2026, we expect to have a total debt of 18.8. By the end of 2027, we expect our debt to be 19.8. By the end of 2028, we expect our debt to be 20.7. So ganun po. But despite an increasing debt stock, ini-expect din po natin na ang ekonomiya po natin ay lumalaki. Alam niyo po, sa buong ASEAN, tayo po ang inaasahan na pinakamataas ang growth rate, 6.2%. Ka-level na natin sa growth rate ang Vietnam. Pero ang kagandahan po is sa inflation, ina-expect po nila na mas mababa ang inflation rate natin sa Vietnam. So in other words, suma total, ahead tayo in terms of outlook. So yun po, that's the reason for why we expect our debt to GDP ratio to be much lower in 2028 because we expect our economy to be growing.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished sponsor, will the Filipino taxpayers expect to pay this debt forever? This portion of the budget represents money that could have been allocated for government projects that can actually reach the Filipino people. Our outstanding debt level will just continue to post new record highs because of continued budget deficits that will be financed by the additional borrowings. What is the plan of our government to offset these borrowings? Ano mga plano natin, no? At least, do we have a catch-up plan na every year na tumataas na lang itong ating borrowings, no? When will stop, no? And the Filipino people hindi na nararamdaman yung ang kanilang buhay dahil nga ito, patas ng patas ang ating utang, yung kanilang buhay hindi naman nagbabago. So this is the time, Mr. Speaker, na malaman na naka-live tayo, malaman ng ating mga kababayan, itong mga utang ng ginagawa natin, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, ay nakakatulong ba ito sa ating mga ordinaryong kababayan?
Well, una sa lahat, parang ang pinaka-importante sa lahat is dapat lumago ang ating ekonomiya. Yun ang pinaka-importante sa lahat. So, bagamat umuutang tayo, dapat magamit ng tama ang utang such that lumago ang ating ekonomiya. Diba? Kasi hindi dapat mapunta tayo sa isang sitwasyon na umuutang tayo pero yung utang na yan ay nagiging behest. Diba? So, yun ang hindi pwedeng mangyari. At obviously, ang mga pinag-uutangan natin ay para sa mga bagay na talagang kailangan natin, tulad ng mga railway, di ba? Sino naman ang hindi nangangarap na magkaroon ng isang modern railway system dahil tayong lahat ay sawang-sawa na sa traffic, di ba? So, yun ang mga pupuntahan na mga inuutang natin. So, yun ay inaasahan natin na magpapamodernize ng ating ekonomiya. So, and at the same time, habang lumalago ang ating ekonomiya, ang ating deficit ay lumiliit over time. So, kung during the pandemic ay umabot yata ng lagpas 7% ang ating deficit, ang ibig sabihin ng deficit ay sobra sa kita ang gastos natin. Pero sa ngayon, nakikita natin na dahil tama ang direksyon ng ating economic managers, ay lumiliit ang ating deficit. So, kung ipapagpatuloy natin ang ginagawa ng ating DBCC, by the time this administration ends, ang nakikita natin na deficit ay 3.7% na lang. So, yun ang siguro dapat tignan natin that we are heading towards the right direction. So yun po. And at the same time, ay patuloy sa pag-improve ng pangongolekta ng buwis. As much as possible, ayaw natin ng bagong buwis kasi ang dami naman talagang buwis na nandyan na hindi lang talaga natin nakokolekta ng maayos. So yun ang I think nagiging direksyon naman ng ating DOF. Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, I just want to repeat myself. So, in the next few years, we'll see a decrease in our deficit.
Yun po, Mr. Speaker.
Yun ang
Your Honor.
target.
Yun po. Yan ang kailangan talaga natin makita. 3.7% ang ating target. At biruin ninyo, lagpas 7% po yan nung, during the pandemic.
Okay. So, thank you, Madam, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Madam Sponsor. Thank you very much.